said, bam, boom. Yeah, think about it, man. Oh, AI ain't going nowhere.
President of the United States.
Thank you.
Going nowhere, you know. So I said, damn, let me just go and find this motherfucker. Since they took that motherfucking video, let me just go find this shit, man. Cause I want to listen to this goddamn script. Oh, by the way, man, I retired, man. I put my jerseys in the rafters last night. I can't beat no goddamn any of that with that bullshit. I can't fuck with them. But this right here, this is 2020. The peace and prosperity that was offered to the Muslims, aka Palestinians, but they're all Iranians now. They're all Iranians, Persians. I want you to show you the fakeness to put down. Trump had already went in and took the water after declaring war on the gangs in Chicago. These were the things that was on this man's mind when he first became president of the United States of America, the 45th president. This 9/11 dictator I'm talking about. This 9/11 dictator I'm talking about. So I just wanted to come live and just use this motherfucker for educational purposes. Up on the Gaza section 107 or whatever the fuck they be talking about. Cause I ain't no YouTube, they don't know about all that. Yeah, but it's for education purposes only. And we gonna just sit here and listen. And after becoming president and declaring the war, there was 2017 when he said he declared war on all the gangs in Chicago. But he loved Kanye and motherfucking goddamn Chance the rapper there. Yeah. But let's get it though.
And the Prime Minister of the State of Israel.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Today, Israel takes a big step towards peace. Young people across...
I guess his peace means killing Palestinians and setting them up for failure. This is the same interview we're gonna catch him saying that he was backing out of contracts with Iran and their nuclear weapons projects.
The Middle East are ready for a more hopeful future, and governments throughout the region are realizing that terrorism and Islamic extremism are everyone's common enemy. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of meeting with both.
And you stamp that, sir, when you put the blame on the Palestinians for the 9/11 plane crashes into those Twin Towers. You, sir, you came out and told the world how it was really done, how those planes could not have brought those buildings down in such a manner. You came out and explained to the world, you, Mr. Trump. And that's how you won some of the people over, by telling the truth But you told those truths only to take the blame off those Israelis that was found on that New Jersey bridge in that moving van with the mirror of those airplanes hitting those Twin Towers the day it happened. It was in a moving van with a picture on the side of the moving van of being hit by airplanes the day of. And they found explosives in the back of the van, and they found Israeli IDs in the back of the van. And you, sir, came out and told some truth to win the favor of the people, to only say that it was Palestinians. And that, sir, is when y'all went and killed Gaddafi and should have been looking for bin Laden. So why would y'all be over there killing Gaddafi if bin Laden was responsible? But you took responsibility off your people in Israel and said it was Palestinians. Yes, sir, that's when you became the 9/11 dictator that you are right now. The 45th and 47th president of the United States, the 9/11 dictator. Let's go.
The Prime Minister of Israel and a man that's working very hard to become the Prime Minister of Israel in the longest running election of all time, Benny Gantz of the Blue and White Party. And both leaders joined me to express their support for this effort, proving that the state of Israel looking for peace, and that peace transcends politics by any measure, unmeasurable. That's what they want. On my first trip overseas as president, I visited the Holy Land of Israel. I was deeply moved and amazed by what this small country had achieved in the face of overwhelming odds and never-ending threats. The state of Israel comprises only a minuscule amount of land in the Middle East, and yet it has become a thriving center of democracy, innovation, culture, and commerce.
How do we just all of a sudden, after the wars with Germany and all this stuff, how do we become the nation that recognizes Israel as being a state? Were we up under some kind of biblical statutes? Why would the United States of America stamp that Israel is the state over Palestine when it's not their fight? Ain't no Canaanites ever been in their land, so it's a Palestinian and Israeli fight. You use Canaanites to tie the melanated people to the land that we ain't got nothing to do with us. Ain't got nothing to do with melanated people. Y'all are Iranians, Persians. It's y'all fight. So why would the United States of America have anything to do with recognizing Israel as being a state in the first place? And now this state go through so much. This sounds like a biblical story. I think it is, but it don't supposed to have nothing to do with politics. But I think it got a lot to do with politics and these godly wars. Y'all fighting. Y'all got us fucked up.
Israel is a light unto the world. The hearts and history of our people are woven together. The land of Israel is an ancient home, a sacred place of worship, and a solemn promise to the Jewish people that we will never again repeat history's darkest hour. During my trip to Israel, I also met with Palestinian President Abbas in Bethlehem. I was saddened by the fate of the Palestinian people. They deserve a far better life. They deserve the chance to achieve their extraordinary.
Well, what you did was went and take Bethlehem from the Palestinians and claimed it to be the capital of Israel. That's what you did when you went in there. You took Bethlehem from those people. And in this interview, you're going to talk about remapping some shit and putting down on these Palestinians. And when I say Palestinians, we're talking about the Islamic world. Muslims, all you Muslims in the United States, know what you're following. Man, y'all gonna learn to leave these religions alone. And the world can go back to a natural state, which I don't understand yet.
Potential Palestinians have been trapped in a cycle of terrorism, poverty, and violence, exploited by those seeking to use them as pawns to advance terrorism and extremism. I returned from my visit determined.
Who are you talking about? Who trying to use the Palestinians to the war on terror is a blind war? Who the fuck are you talking about? They do a lot of double talking. Who's putting down on them? If it ain't you and your Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, who are you talking about? Who's raining terror upon who? You claim that they're the terrorists. They're the one that knocked the buildings down. They're the one that came to threaten the United States. But it's a go somewhere. Are you talking about yourself, sir? Who is doing this to these people? Oh, it's you. Oh, so you talking about yourself doing the Palestinians wrong? Okay, come on, I bag that up, because I want to hear the...
Defined a constructive and violence exploited by those seeking to use them as pawns to advance terrorism.
Who's seeking to use them? You talking about China or somebody that's going to use the Palestinians as pawns? Who's seeking to use? Who you talking about? I wish I could understand.
And extremism. I returned from my visit determined to find a constructive path, and it's got to be a very powerful path forward in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. To further this effort, I also met with President Abbas at the White House. Forging peace between Israelis and Palestinians may be the most difficult challenge of all. All prior administrations from President Lyndon Johnson have tried.
Why? Why is it going to be difficult? Because the Palestinians are the children of Ishmael, and the Israelis are the so-called children of Isaac. This is some biblical shit. So politics and biblical shit is what got the world in a frenzy, and y'all keep going back and forth with these godly wars and taking our United States children and put them in these fucked up situations to harvest their organs and send them home fucked up with Agent Orange and all kind of shit. And they can't get help from a VA. They got to beg to get a set of teeth or some shit. Fuck wrong with y'all? What's the problem? Oh, the problem is an Abrahamic war. That's why it's a God war, because it's an Abrahamic war, because that's where your story started, after Noah. Yeah. So politics and religions do mix. And y'all doing this shit biblically and standing behind a God that you wrote for. So y'all just fighting over biblical lands. That's what's going on, y'all. That's what I'm trying to show you.
And bitterly failed. But I was not elected to do small things or shy away from the White House. Forging peace between Israelis and Palestinians may be the most difficult challenge of all.
Why? If Abraham is the father of all y'all. Sarah was a chambermaid. She was an Egyptian chambermaid. And at this point in time, this Egyptian chambermaid is not a black woman. Her name is Hagar. And God grants her a land. And that's how you usurp, not usurp, but the other ones usurp the land of Arabia and take all the oil fields from the Africa. Sir? 3GD for life.
All prior administrations from President Lyndon Johnson have tried and bitterly failed. But I was not elected to do small things or shy away from big problems. It's been a long and very arduous process to arrive at this moment. On Sunday, I delivered to Prime Minister Netanyahu my Israelis and Palestinians. This vision for peace is fundamentally different. By contrast, our plan is 80 pages and is the most detailed proposal ever put forward by far. As I have seen throughout my long career as a deal maker, complex problems require precise, more prosperous. My vision presents a win-win opportunity for both sides, a realistic two-state solution that resolves the risk of Palestinian statehood to Israel's security.
Put down. If we go by the biblical story, we shouldn't recognize either one of you as being a state. You understand? Melanated people? Melanated people, do you understand that? We should not recognize either one of these people as being a state. You got all these niggas that want to be Hebrews and Muslims and Jews and all this. Man, fuck all that. We should not recognize either one of them as being a state, because in their biblical book, this is the land that God told them to go down and kill. First of all, these so-called Canaanites in your story, those in the land that dwelt in the land first, was said to be in your book quiet, peaceable people. Y'all get your Bibles out. Y'all want Unfair to break this shit down? Yeah, they were said to be quiet, peaceable people that had occupied that land since the days of old. That's how you define what a Canaanite was in your story. So even if somebody that understands the story breaks it down, you're not gonna want to hear it, because your God of war told Zechariah and the rest of them to go down through Canaan and kill every man, woman, and child breathing, cut the babies out of the women's stomach. Yeah, that type shit. That God of war shit. So why should any melanated people on the face of the earth recognize Israel or Palestine as being a fucking state? But now y'all want to have a two-state policy, but you want to control. So you don't want them to be a state, because you don't recognize them as being a state. So why are you saying there's going to be two states? So you got to see between the bullshit, Mr. 9/11 dictator. We see over here, though, 3TD for life.
Step toward peace. Yesterday, Prime Minister Netanyahu informed me my vision presents a win-win opportunity for both Palestinians, taking a giant step toward peace. Yesterday, Prime Minister Netanyahu informed me that he is willing to endorse the vision as the basis for direct negotiations. And I will say the general also endorsed, and very strongly, with the Palestinians, a historic breakthrough. And likewise, we have really
No, when you hear him talking, he's talking about Jews. When he said Israeli, he's talking about Jews. When he said Palestinian, he's talking about Islam. He's talking about the Torah versus the Quran. He's talking about the Torah versus the Quran. We're going to bring all the troops home. Oh, Obama.
situation having to do with a race that is taking place right now. It will end, and we have the support, and it's very important to say this, of both parties and almost all people in Israel. They want peace, and they want peace badly.
You say that, sir. And this go for AI, chat, PT, GPT, all that shit. Y'all watch what you want to watch. Now, earlier, I asked about this map that you put down, but it can't be found. Not like that. But it can be found at your mouth right here. So, why don't y'all stamp this and put this, let AI know that you did propose a new map of the region that you're putting in sanction, because you're the nominee, you're the face man, you're the puppet of Israel that get out here and do all this fuck shit, Mr. Sir Orange Man Trump. Yeah. So it is a map. I would waste my time and go show the searches while I was trying to find the map on my way to finding this video. Me,
for the have the support.
I just want to hear you say something about that map again. Cause y'all made a map, but we can't find the history on it. But I'm stamping it in history right here that you made a map and mapped those people out of more lands, like you've been doing ever since y'all been fighting with the land was Palestinian. And the job is to take over control of all of it because you are the God's chosen children, right? Right? Yeah. So it is politics, religion, and these are godly wars. And we're supporting that bullshit when we should be trying to find the God of peace. Ain't about no damn peace and prosperity. Fuck you.
And it's very important to say this of both parties and almost all people in Israel. They want peace, and they want peace badly.
Who's not being peaceful with them? Okay, come on.
This is the first time Israel has authorized the release of a conceptual map illustrating.
A map. Boy, I sure want to see this map. I've been wanting to see this map for a long time. Can anybody help me? Anybody, please help me. I want to see this map. Because I got a map I can show and the illustrations of how they have taken and 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 taken the land from these people. But this is how it's written, how it's supposed to go. It is a script. Because these people are ones, the Palestinians took the land from the Canaanites, according to your biblical stories. And now in the end, you must win because you're God's chosen children. And this will continue to be the script ran on the people that won't wake up to what the fuck really going on in this world as they enslave us forever. As we live in as an incorporated system, as in an incorporated system, a corporation, as you walk around as individual corporations with that driver's license and that birth certificate, now that social security card, with your name in all capital letters, you are incorporated into this system and you are forever a slave. Especially to Japan, for dropping them fake ass nuclear bombs that's supposed to had birth defects and contaminated the land. That's the reason they should be in debt for them for so long, because of the damage that nuclear weapons supposedly done to Japan. That's just one of the scripts, but they all go together. I'm just trying to show it to you, y'all, so y'all can see my mind state. Because some of y'all think I'm crazy, but I'm not.
The territorial compromises it's willing to make for the cause of peace, and they've gone a long way. This is an unprecedented and highly significant development. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for having the courage to take this bold step forward.
Must I mention, right now, at this particular time in history, every channel damn near is broadcasting this man's impeachment. This man ain't sweating that shit, ain't stiff around his collar, nothing. Right as they're doing this press conference, the script is being ran to the whole world that Donald Trump will be impeached. That's what's going on at this moment when they were having this press conference. Everybody pumping their fists and celebrating, getting drunk. Somebody he's gonna be impeached. He over here putting down on the Palestinians, while the regular citizens on the surface don't understand what's going on. Man over here putting down, y'all trying he's gonna be impeached. That man ain't studying that shit y'all talking about. Just like I told y'all then, and just like I'm telling y'all now. Man was studying this shit about no impeachment. Because he's the nominee. He's the face man for Israel. And he's an Ashkenazi German Jew that becomes the president of the United States of America. And that should even be possible. But y'all ain't paying attention. By way of two parents that were Ku Klux Klansman, Grand was, yeah, that's who he is.
BB, we have a lot of powerful people in this room, a lot of the people that can help make it work, so that's quite a thunderous applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. We will form a joint committee with Israel to convert the conceptual map into a more detailed and calibrated rendering so that...
Conceptual map. Somebody please spare that for... I want to look up this map. Please remind, I want to look up this, I want to see this map. I want to see what map they put down for these people. I'm going to look that up, y'all.
Recognition. We will form a joint committee with Israel to convert the conceptual map into a more detailed and calibrated rendering so that recognition can be immediately achieved. We will also work to create a contiguous territory within the future Palestinian state for when the conditions for statehood are met, including the firm rejection of terrorism. Under this vision, Jerusalem will remain Israel's undivided, very important, undivided capital.
So, you see how he double talk? You see how he double talk? Do y'all see how he double talk? He just said it was going to be 2 states. How could it be 2 states if it's undivided? I'm just asking y'all that now. How could he be going along with it's gonna be good for both sides and it's gonna be 2 states and they're able to have peace, but it's gonna be undivided? How can you have 2 states and be undivided if you're not gonna take over and dictate and put rulership over one? How can it be undivided? You claim that it's just this is a prosperity for 2 states, for the existence of 2 states. So how could it be undivided? How could it be undivided? And this is what they call the conceptual map. I'm glad you said that, because these are the illustrations I like to show how the land is taken over by one another. Yeah, I'm glad I see what's going on right there. Oh, I'm gonna study that right there, y'all. Let's go.
But that's no big deal, because I've already done that for you, right? We've already done that, but that's okay. It's going to remain that way. And the United States will recognize Israeli sovereignty over the territory that my vision provides to be part of the state of Israel. Very important.
But you're going to recognize the sovereignty of the Israelis, but are you going to recognize the sovereignty of the Palestinians? No, because it's going to be undivided. And I'm looking at this goddamn map. Well, you done went in there and took Bethlehem and Jerusalem as being the capital of Israel. That means you're uprooting Palestinians up out of that area, nigga. Huh? How in the fuck can you be promoting two states that are undivided that the United States, recognize the sovereignty of Israel? Jesus Christ, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad Ali. Let's get it.
And crucially, the proposed transition to a two-state solution will present no incremental security risk to the state of Israel whatsoever. We will not allow a return to the days of bloodshed, bus bombings, nightclub attacks, and relentless terror. Won't be.
Oh, they running the script. That's the only goddamn defense these people got. That's the only. Man, you got the world's so-called greatest military backing you up in foreign lands. But you don't want these people to fight back at all. You don't want these people to fight back at all. The nightclub bombings and shit, boy, y'all called it out because y'all know that's the only way that people can goddamn at least let you know. Did you even pinch the bitch? Because that's how the other nations look at them like, well, goddamn, they just gonna run y'all off y'all shit. Did you at least pinch the bitch? That's how they pinch your ass back. A nightclub bombing is how you pinch your ass back for the shit you doing to them. Let's go.
Allowed. Peace requires compromise, but we will never ask Israel to compromise its security. Can't do that. As everyone knows, I have done a lot for Israel, moving the United States Embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing the Golan Heights.
That's it, Golan Heights. That's where you went and took the water from them people at. That's the name. See, it'll come back to me. That's where you went and took the water from the Palestinians.
And frankly, perhaps most importantly, getting out of the terrible Iran nuclear deal.
What nuclear deal? The Iran nuclear deal was a terrible deal. What deal? Y'all make deals with these people? The big script, y'all. The big script. The nuclear. The world gonna come to an end. We drop this nuclear bomb, we push this button, and it's all over. Motherfucker, push the button. That's what a melanated nigga hollering, cause y'all done fucked the world, so we ain't part of this fight, but you got our babies all over the battlefield fighting, they don't even know what the fuck going on. In the military, ready to die for a flag, and they don't even understand the root of this shit. And that's why I do what I do, bitch. Yeah, that's why I do what I do, bitch. Push the button. What deals do you make? What contracts do you have with Iran and nuclears? And then turn around in part two. Action. They can't have nukes, we're gonna bomb them. And then turn around and make contracts with them to run the script over and over and over again. Y'all need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and let us be at peace on our land peacefully. And we can't get you to do that because the blood of our ancestors is already on your hands. And what you give a fuck about putting my blood on your hands ain't shit. And what the fuck I give a fuck about you doing it ain't shit. I'm trying to find my people who really tell you what the fuck on our mind and tell you what it is, nigga. Go back on your side of the earth. And that shit way over in Israel. And I'm over here in the belly of the beast. I'm up under Christian restraints by way of Jew. So many people on the United States of American citizens' necks, especially when you claim that you're a black American or black, whatever the fuck a nigga is. we get it the worst off. And y'all ain't gave us a fucking quarter yet for the shit you done our people. And the motherfucking shit you got us up under. Our people is up under so much fucking brainwash shit that they can't even recognize that they are prisoners of war. Cause that's what the fuck we are. We enslaved to ever. But from the man, behind the motherfucking man, behind the goddamn man. Too many steering wheels in our back. But niggas blinded by that fake ass fiat dollar that they throwing. And you got the women out looking like hoes shaking their ass. They're supposed to be winning. Nah, they ain't gonna be winning for my grandbaby. I wanna die on something. I'm gonna die telling these motherfuckers the truth out here about what I see in this goddamn world. What nuclear goddamn contracts you got with these people? If they can't have no nukes, how the fuck can they have nuclear sites? Double talking, script shit. Y'all can't make this shit make sense.
There's a lot of spirit in this room. It's true. You don't see it often.
There's a lot of spirit, but ain't no souls in that motherfucker. That's why I distinguish between the two. There's a lot of spirits in that bitch, but ain't no souls in that motherfucker. See, us melanated people, we have souls, yeah. Yeah, we don't want to drink no spirit water. We don't want no motherfucking spirits, no alcohol and all that. No, we don't need none of that shit. We have souls. And our souls belong to these people because we have sold out and our souls been gone a long time. So they're not organ harvesting, they soul harvesting. Protect your energy. Read and understand what the fuck these people have done and what they are doing, man. We ain't even in the fight. Ain't no fight for us, it's over. Political prisoners that ain't crying out to other countries or whoever the fuck you should be crying out to about what's being done to you. No, they make this savage ass, thuggish ass shit look like we live it. And we act like we live it. I don't want to be a thug no more. Hell no, I'm fed. Flat Earth Discussions, Melanation, 3CD. One source, one word motto, source. That's the sun. Fuck the rest.
You don't see it often. Therefore, it is only reasonable that I have to do a lot for the Palestinians, or it just wouldn't be fair. Now, don't clap for that, okay? But
they weren't finna clap. They weren't finna clap. You heard how goddamn quiet that room got when that nigga said he got to do a lot for the Palestinians. They holding their breath. You see, script shit. Recognize script shit. They wasn't finna clap, motherfucker. They ain't finna clap to that. I got to do a whole lot for the Palestinian. Man, the world, you can feel the air get sucked up out the room like, what, nigga? Yeah, I know it, because you know them niggas had your goddamn head, nigga. Them niggas had your motherfucking head, somebody reaching out. That's just like goddamn Bill Cosby, somebody trying reaching out and helping a nigga in real life to understand and wake up and buy NBC so he can goddamn put some broadcast out across the world with melanated power on it so people can understand who we are and what the fight really is. Shout out to goddamn Theo Huxtable. Yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Shout out to my baby goddamn Angie Stone. Shout out to my nigga Prodigy. Illuminati's head boss. I'm holding it down, nigga. Shout out to my motherfucking people, man. That understand and recognize this fight that we had to nitpick and walk on eggshells to get through. I'm gonna talk my shit. Y'all supposed to got me this year. I was looking forward to goddamn leaving this bitch. 5-5. I'm still alive. Write my script, bitch, because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, my nigga.
it's only reasonable that I have to do a lot for the Palestinians, or it just wouldn't be fair. Now, don't clap for that, okay? But it's true.
The motherfucker even laughed at that shit. And don't clap with it. Script niggas. This how I can recognize them Kanika niggas like this, man. Script niggas. Who finna clap? You sound like a motherfucker wanted. You been clapping the whole time. Clap, 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 clap. And I got to do a whole lot of things for the Palestinians. Them folks suck the air out the goddamn rumble. Let's do that one more time and let it play, y'all.
Wouldn't be fair. There's a lot of spirit in this room. It's true. You don't see it often. You don't see it often. Therefore, it is only reasonable that I have to do a lot for the Palestinians, or it just wouldn't be fair. Now, don't clap for that, okay? But it's true. It wouldn't be fair.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got to make up some shit like you really want to do something for them people. When the whole time you putting down. And you've been putting down since you told those lies about 9/11, that those Palestinians were responsible for bringing those buildings down. And that's when I named you the 9/11 dictator. And you proved me right all the time. And that's when the United States come out with the war on terror. War on terror against ourselves. They said they found Israeli IDs and explosive in the back of that van. And you came out and flipped the whole script on the world, telling us how those beams couldn't have came down in such a manner. I wonder, did you ever explain how you didn't find any airplane wreckage at the Pentagon? But it was bombed, allegedly. Someone had to blow the bitch up, and there wasn't no fucking airplane. The airplane just disintegrated. No airplane wreckage whatsoever. The Goldman Sachs building falls down by itself. The building that the Jews put the insurance on those buildings. What kind of insurance? Terroristic insurance. Because the only way y'all could have stopped Gaddafi was an act of terrorism or a natural disaster. And you took out the terroristic insurance right before those buildings fell. And no airplane, the third airplane some kind of way, got deterred and fucked up. So no airplane that would hit the third building. But that's the building you collected the insurance off of. And you doubled up and got paid twice. Because of the two strikes, they hit the other two buildings. Nigga, this Melanation 3GD. Shout out to 9/11. Bitch.
I want this deal to be a great deal for the Palestinians. It has to be. Today's agreement is a historic opportunity for the Palestinians to finally achieve an independent state of their very own. After 70 years of little progress, this could be the last opportunity they will ever have, and last for a lot of reasons. We'll never have a team like we have right now. We have a team of people that love the United States, and they love Israel, and they're very smart and very, very committed. From your ambassador, David Friedman, to Jason and Avi, and
that name was ran through the Kanika Jenkins community also. And I went and found the face man of the Friedman who ran the hotel. Wasn't the same guy, but he's their nominee. Chicago, big city of dreams. Everything in the shot ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town, but it's by Dave Barksdale, Larry Hoover, and Jeff Fort who laid this shit down. This supposed to be about some black power, nigga. Same thing go for you Crip and Blood niggas. This shit supposed to be about some black power, my nigga. But y'all niggas slipping, falling, don't want to get up. Cesspool of bullshit. So shut the fuck up. Illuminati's head boss, my nigga. I'm in this bitch.
Jared,
Listen.
love Israel, and they're very smart and very, very committed. From your ambassador, David Friedman, to Jason and Avi and Jared.
Do y'all remember when President Obama was in office, and it seemed like he wasn't making none of the decisions whatsoever? He had each of my Jared's my else though. But I just want to make a side note here about Valerie Jarrett, that Iranian lady that ran Obama's administration. She made all the decisions. How did that Iranian woman get in there up under Obama and was making all the goddamn decisions, presidential decisions on her own? And she was the Iranian. Just food for thought, y'all.
And they're all great deal makers, and they also understand the other side, and they want the other side to do well, because that's the sign of a great deal, and they understand that. And I just appreciate all of the hard work you put in, and so many of your other friends, and of course our great Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo.
They clapping like a motherfucker now, but they want to clap on you saying, goddamn, you gonna do some shit for them Palestinians. But y'all niggas fun as fuck. This script shit.
That's impressive. That was very impressive, Mike. That reporter couldn't have done too good a job on you yesterday, right? I think you did a good job on her, actually. That's good. Thank you, Mike. Great. Are you running for Senate? I guess the answer is no after that, huh? They all want him to. Kansas, great state. They want him to, but you're doing a great job. Don't move. The Palestinian people have grown distrustful after years of unfulfilled promises. So true. Yet I know.
Why should anybody trust you, nigga? They should be distrustful. You taking this shit right now with this conceptual map. We're gonna look at it in a minute.
They are ready to escape their tragic past and realize a great destiny. But we must break free of yesterday's failed approaches. This map will more than double the Palestinian territory and provide a Palestinian capital in eastern Jerusalem, where America will proudly open an embassy.
Eastern Jerusalem, where they go and open another U.S. embassy. The world's largest U.S. embassy is already located in Iraq, because they're going to forever put down on the OPEC systems. The OPEC, the oil. They planted that flag and ain't going nowhere. Isn't that where they supposed to found the weapons of mass destruction? Isn't that the weapons of mass destruction that Cat Williams was talking about? Who found weapons of mass destruction? Who found? They never found no weapons of mass destruction. Because if there are weapons of mass destruction, they out there in that land that they been playing with out there in so-called Alaska, if that's where your ice at. Because maybe you're backdooring us and you're sitting right behind us in what you call Antarctica. Fake-ass South Pole sitting right behind us with a fucking treaty. Wherever it is, y'all playing around in some ice. So if there is some weapons of mass destruction, some real nuclear weapons with the capabilities of blowing this whole motherfucker up, you don't have them in your possession, sir. You're the puppet. You fake breaking. I think Japan got y'all ass in a chokehold. allegedly. But I think Japan got y'all ass in a chokehold. And if anybody got the nukes, I think, that's what I'm saying, I think Japan got those nukes. Yeah, them Khazarian Jews. Cause they keep their foot on y'all neck. And y'all come out here and run strips to keep us in line, keep us in order. But y'all ain't talking about shit. Y'all ain't went to no goddamn moon. Y'all ain't got no real nukes. Y'all run this goddamn nuclear weapon. Iran can't have nukes. Iran can't have nukes. That's bullshit. Year after year after year after year. As we listen to all this propaganda-ass rhetoric and take our ass back and forth to work every day to try to pay on a debt to set ourselves free. And you telling us we can never repay this debt. So Americans will never be free. And I guess what this nigga called America being great. The great enslavement of melanated people. Man, you niggas better wake the fuck up. And then, you niggas already woke the fuck up. When are we gonna stand the fuck up? Know what I'm saying?
No Palestinians or Israelis will be uprooted from their homes. Israel will work closely with a wonderful person, a wonderful man, the King of Jordan, to ensure that the status quo.
You the king of disrupting people's home. You the king of disrupting families. You the borderline, put up the wall nigga. That would separate children from their family. This been a script a long time. This been a script of you motherfuckers for a long time. When you come in, you separate the children from their parents. So you can disconnect them from whatever kind of faith, education, or knowledge that's going from parent to child. And then that's what border schools and orphanages. See, this is how it works. This is how you keep a motherfucking people disgruntled. Anytime they catch traction, you come and put the separation to the people. Y'all been sitting back doing this shit so long. This shit is numbing to the people that don't even see what y'all do. 5-5 was still alive. Write my script, bitch. I'm ready.
Of the Temple Mount is preserved and strong measures are taken to ensure that all Muslims who wish to visit peacefully and pray at the...
What Muslims? What Muslims? Oh, Palestinians. So what I said earlier about the Palestinians, you might as well just say Muslims. Israel, you might as well just say Jews. And then you ain't got to think about Jesus and the Christians because they're up under the guise of Jew. That's why they allow the North to run the scripts they run on the people in the United States of America, which is so-called the belly of the beast. In the East, what I'm trying to tell you, run that northern beast. And that beast run these scripts on us. That's how you niggas run around thinking you're spinning on balls and shit. That's part of your enslavement, nigga.
Ensure that the status quo of the Temple Mount is preserved and strong measures are taken to ensure that all Muslims who wish to visit peacefully and pray at the Al-Aqsa Mosque will be able to do so. This is a major statement. This is of major importance. And at the same time, our vision will deliver massive commercial investment of $50 billion into the new Palestinian state. You have many, many countries that want to partake in this, and many of them are surrounding. They all want this to happen. Virtually every one of them want this to happen.
But it's undivided. Putting down on these people fucked up.
And I think, Bibi, you know that very well. You're going to have tremendous support from your neighbors and beyond your neighbors. Over the next 10 years, if executed well, 1 million great new Palestinian jobs will be created. Their poverty rate will be cut in half, and their poverty rate is unacceptable now and only getting worse. Their GDP will double and triple, and much needed hope, joy, opportunity, and prosperity will finally arrive for the Palestinian people. Our vision will end the cycle of Palestinian dependency upon charity and foreign aid, they will be doing phenomenally all by themselves. They are a very, very capable people.
They will be doing all by themselves, left to right. As y'all put down and continue to take the whole land from these people. Because it's the land God promised his Israelites. If anybody should be entitled to that land, it should be a black Ethiopian. And I don't see no remnants of blackness being in that land. You can't dig. Archaeologists haven't dug anything in those lands to show proof that there were Canaanites even there. Even during your story, your God didn't give a fuck. He said, kill every man, woman, and child over that bitch. But we don't see any adequate tombs, temples, educational sites, none of that shit. Because all this shit is a script and a part of your story and a part of my enslavement. The reason I tell my people we should let religion go. I don't need a religion to love my mother. I don't need a religion to love my brother. I don't need a middleman to talk to my God. Because me waking up, breathing every day up under that sun proves that I'm connected to my God. So I don't need this bullshit that y'all put down. But my people won't get it because they so full of indoctrination. They gonna fight this shit at every step and don't understand they fighting to kill themselves. That's why the dragon ate his tail. Because you're gonna eat yourself up. That's why you're a crab in the barrel. Because you're gonna snatch yourself down. Because you're listening to your motherfucking enslaver. But y'all don't get it though, man.
And we will help by empowering the Palestinians to thrive on their own. Palestinians will be able to seize the new future with dignity, self-sufficiency, and national pride. To ensure a successful Palestinian state, we are asking the Palestinians to meet the challenges of peaceful coexistence. This includes adopting basic laws enshrining human rights, protecting against financial and political corruption, stopping the malign activities of Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and other enemies of peace, ending the incitement of hatred against Israel, so important, and permanently halting the financial compensation to terrorists. Perhaps most importantly, my vision gives the Palestinians the time needed to rise up and meet the challenges of statehood. I sent a letter today to President Abbas. I explained to him that the territory allocated for his new state will remain open and undeveloped for a period of 4 years. During this time, Palestinians can use all appropriate deliberation to study the deal, negotiate with Israel, achieve the criteria for statehood, and become a truly independent and wonderful state. President Abbas, I want you to know that if you choose the path to peace, America and many other countries, we will be there. We will be there to help you in so many different ways. And we will be there every step of the way. We will be there to help. In other words, for the first time in many, many decades, I can say it will work. It's going to work. If they do this, it will work. Your response to this historic opportunity will show the world to what extent you are ready to lead the Palestinian people to statehood. The Middle East is changing rapidly. On my first trip aboard as president, I traveled to Saudi Arabia to discuss.
I got to always stamp that Middle East shit. And this where the flat earth come in at. This how about the brick clip, the book, the brick clip. This how they clip. The Middle East is actually south of the world. But it's northern Africa. Africa sits in the south. But it's northern Africa and it's usurped and called the Middle East. And now we're looking at the Far East. And these lands, those lands on that map, we dissecting this globe shit. How the fuck is Australia and those lands sitting in the east on that standard map? But let's go. This is my channel. I brainstorm and do what the fuck I want to do on this bitch. How I do it. Let's go.
Discuss our shared priorities with the 54 leaders of the Muslim and Arab countries. I made clear that all civilized nations share the same goals, stamping out extremism, creating opportunity for the region's youth, and we have to take care of the region's youth. The region's youth is growing up with no hope. We have to take care of the region's youth and existing in harmony with one's neighbors. Since that time, immense progress has been made. A growing number of nations have taken strong stands against terrorism and radicalizations. You see it. Thanks to the courage of U.S. forces, the ISIS territorial caliphate, 100%, not 95%, not 99 or any other percent, 100% of the caliphate, ISIS, is destroyed. And its savage leader, al-Baghdadi, is now dead.
You clapping the death of a motherfucker the same way you did Gaddafi. You motherfuckers clapped and applauded and applauded. 9/11 coming up, man. We gotta run this shit. We gotta stay on this shit. We gotta always let people know that a third building fell with not an airplane touching it. Y'all applauding the death. Y'all drove Gaddafi out in front of the world. Was a script I don't know. And waited and waited and made sure everybody was paying attention. And this is when Farrakhan showed me that he was a tail tucker. Because this is when he tucked his tail. You stamped and put your mouth on a whole lot of shit, sir. And you was the representation, the representative of the people in America, my people that claim Islam. You was their representative. And you talk so much shit to be done ran and tucked your tail and not address this shit yet. And it's 2025.
And I want to thank, we have some of our great senators and congressmen and women here, and I want to thank you all for the tremendous help. Thank you very much, Jim, Ted, everybody, Steve. Our leader, thank you. Mark, thank you. Great people, and these are great people. They work so hard, and they love this country. The Iranian regime is isolated.
What did he say, Fed? What did he say? To my Farrakhan? Oh, he said, my brother Barack Obama. Don't let these people make a fool of you, my brother. Because there's going to be consequences and repercussions. If anything, or if you do anything to harm my brother, Muammar Gaddafi. That's what he said, y'all. That's what he said. I ain't seen the repercussions yet. Farrakhan should be the one constructing and putting the plans together to bomb, to have the nightclub bombings and festivals bombed in that bitch. He should be the goddamn, he should be over the generals. He should be goddamn constructing the plans for they fight. I guess he don't believe in it no more, y'all. So watch you. Get that religion shit up. Stop passing the curse down to your children by way of religion. And get outside and look up in that sky. And look at the world for what the fuck it really is. But I guess you want to live on an imaginary equator. We have imaginary leaders claiming to have militaries and shit. But when it's time to fight, they tuck their tail. Because they've been on script the whole time too. Where are the tanks? Where are the battleships? Where are the aircrafts of the melanated peoples? Militaries that uphold Islam. Where are you, Farrakhan? You collected millions of dollars, millions and millions and millions of dollars. You tell me you ain't buy one AK, one tank, one chopper, no? And my people still falling behind this religion. And this is going to keep this holy war going forever until we bag out, until we see you. No God should be one war against another God. I thought it was just one. Monotheism. Make it make sense. I'm just telling y'all how this shit go.
Peter, thank you. Mark, thank you. Great people. These are great people. They work so hard and they love this country. The Iranian regime is isolated and weakened greatly. We eliminated Qasem Soleimani, the world's top terrorist.
See, what they're doing is exactly what the story told the Palestinians, the Ishmaelites, to do to the so-called Canaanite that was in the land. They kill all the motherfuckers. Because they said, land I promise you. Well, who are you, my Lord? I'm your God. I'm your God. But a Jew is not y'all God, people. Noah, a Neanderthal out of the northwest, out of the north, is not the father of civilization, y'all. But you don't shake so hard when I say something about Jesus ain't real. It's just a person, a character in a story. Part of your enslavement. But you ain't gonna get it though.
And as you know, he was with the head of Hezbollah. I don't think they were up to anything good. I don't think so. He ran an organization called Jerusalem Liberation Forces and used his hatred, total severe hatred of Israel, as a rallying cry to divert attention from the incompetence and shortcomings of his government. He falsely promoted the sinister notion that a free Jerusalem, we must really be at war with Israel. So to have it free, we have to be at war with Israel. And he said it very, very powerfully. In fact, it's been in this false war that Israel, really, the enemies of peace, have used it. They just used it as an excuse to divide.
Israel, the enemies of peace. Did you just say you're an enemy of peace? And a praiser of war? You praise war and you're an enemy of peace? Is that what you just said? Whatever God y'all got, man, I don't want nothing to do with it.
And totally oppress the Middle East. In Israel, really, the enemies of peace have used it. They just used it as an excuse to divide and totally oppress the Middle East. In truth, Jerusalem is liberated. Jerusalem is a safe, open, democratic city that welcomes people of all faiths and all places. It is time for the Muslim world to fix the mistake it made in 1948 when it chose to attack instead of recognize the new state of Israel. It's time.
Do y'all hear when this shit go back? Do y'all hear when this shit started? This is where the world wars and shit. 44, 45, 48. Because this during the time when this German right here, his forefathers were in their shenanigans with the all hell Hitler shit. And niggas come over this motherfucker to the United States of America, put down everything ran by a Jew, Ashkenazi. And this is when the United States of America, the world's greatest military, gonna back up and say that they recognize Israel as being a state. And y'all don't see the biblical story going on right before your eyes. And history will continue to repeat itself as long as you let them keep writing these scripts over and over again with the power of their lie, with your eyes wide shut, that you can't see these motherfuckers.
Since then, the amount of needless bloodshed and all squandered opportunities, so many squandered opportunities in the name of senseless causes, is beyond measure. The Palestinians have been the primary pawn in this regional adventurism, and it's time for this sad chapter in history to end quickly, end now. It's never too late for courageous leaders to set a new course, to pursue what is right, to change the future only for the better. America is prepared to work with all parties on our vision. So many other countries are willing, ready, and able to work with us. I've spoken to many of them. I cannot believe the amount of support this morning has. I cannot believe it. I have been called by leaders. Boris called, so many called, and they're all saying whatever we can do to help. They all want to see.
It's the world fight. It's the world script. The United States of America got to go all the way across this motherfucking continent of Africa and go over here and fight a fight in a land called Israel because of something somebody biblically wrote. Real life human beings got to go to an army and shit and defend and fight with inside the realms of a biblical story. This shit's so crazy, man. I'm gonna get out of this shit. Let's go.
It happen. But America cannot care more about peace than the stakeholders in the region. There are many Muslims who never visited Al-Aqsa, and many Christians and Jews who never visited the holy sites in the West Bank described so vividly in the Bible. My vision will change that. Our majestic biblical heritage.
Describe where? So this a biblical fight, boy. I just led your ass into a cesspool. Boy, did you hear that shit? I was just finna go to sleep. Boy, you woke me back up. This how he? This a biblical fight, nigga. And you people ain't nowhere in the story but cursed, especially you melanated people, especially the Negro in the United States of America. Because they tell you, Ham is the progenitor of all the black races except the Negro. So who they talk? So what the fuck is you talking about, y'all? This man is living this shit in real time, running a script from what the fuck they wrote about what a God said, nigga, and y'all niggas can't wake up from this shit. I know. I need no views. As long as I don't get them, as long as I know y'all niggas still sleep. and mad every time a nigga shake your foundation of your belief system. It's crazy. This man telling you where this shit coming from. This is why they war. Because of this Bible.
Christians and Jews who never visited the holy sites in the West Bank described so vividly in the Bible. My vision will change that. Our majestic biblical heritage will be able to live, breathe, and flourish in modern times. All humanity should be able to enjoy the glories of the Holy Land. This part of the world is forever connected to the human soul and the human spirit. These ancient lands should not be symbols of conflict, but eternal symbols of peace. Thank you again for all of the work you've all done and all of these incredible honored guests for being here. And in particular, I want to thank Prime Minister Netanyahu. I also want to thank Oman, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates for the incredible work they've done helping us with so much and sending their ambassadors to be with us today. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please give our regards. America's partnerships in the region have never been greater, and our alliance with the State of Israel has never, ever been stronger than it is today. Together, we can bring about a new dawn in the Middle East. And I would now, again, just like to thank everybody and a very special group of people, an incredible group of people. So many have been with us on this journey right from the beginning, and we're getting there. They say it's the toughest deal ever to make. In business, when I have a tough deal, people would say this is tougher than the Israelis and the Palestinians. They used it as an excuse, meaning that was always the standard. Actually, there's nothing tougher than this one, but we have to get it done. We have an obligation to humanity to get it done. So I would now like to introduce the Prime Minister of Israel, who's worked so hard on this, Benjamin Netanyahu. Thank you.
In the Middle East, we drink water before a long voyage. This is an extraordinary voyage. President Trump, Donald, I'm honored to be here today, along with my wife, Sarah, Minister Yariv Levin, Ambassador Ron Dermer. Ron, thank you for everything you've been doing. National Security Advisor Mayor Ben Shabbat, thank you too, Mayor. And our entire delegation. We're honored to be here with you, Mr. President, with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. We applaud you, Mike. Secretary of the Treasury Steve Mnuchin, National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, America's UN Ambassador Kelly Craft, Jared Kushner and Ivanka, it's good to see you both. It's good to see the unfailingly energetic and optimistic Ambassador David Friedman, Jason Greenblatt, Avi Berkowitz, Brian Hook, and the rest of your exceptional peace band, Mr. President. It's good to be here with the other distinguished ladies and gentlemen of your administration, with senators and members of Congress who are Israel's greatest friends on Capitol Hill. Thank you. Thank you. With the ambassadors of the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Oman, what a pleasure to see you here, and what a sign it portends. I was going to say of the future, what a sign it portends of the present. To all of you and to the many other distinguished guests who are here today, this is a historic day. And it recalls another historic day. We remember May 14th, 1948, because on that day, President Truman became the first world leader to recognize the state of Israel after our first Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, declared our independence. That day chartered a brilliant future. Mr. President, I believe that down the decades, and perhaps down the centuries, we will also remember January 28th, 2020, because on this day, you became the first world leader to recognize Israel's sovereignty over areas in Judea and Samaria that are vital to our security and central to our heritage. And on this day, you too have charted a brilliant future for Israelis, Palestinians, and the region by presenting a realistic path to a durable peace. Since the moment of its birth, Israel has yearned for peace with our Palestinian neighbors and peace with the broader Arab world. For decades, that peace has proved elusive, despite so many well-intentioned plans. One after the other, they failed. Why did they fail? They failed because they did not strike the right balance between Israel's vital security and national interests and the Palestinians' aspirations for self-determination. Too many plans tried to pressure Israel to withdraw from vital territory like the Jordan Valley. But you, Mr. President, you recognized that Israel must have sovereignty in the Jordan Valley and other strategic areas of Judea and Samaria. Rather than pay easy lip service to Israel's security and simply shut your eyes, hope for the best, you recognize that Israel must have sovereignty in places that enable Israel to defend itself by itself. For too long, far too long, the very heart of the land of Israel, where our patriarchs prayed, our prophets preached, and our kings ruled, has been outrageously branded as illegally occupied territory. Well, today, Mr. President, you are puncturing this big lie. You are recognizing Israel's sovereignty over all the Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria, large and small alike. These, as the distinguished pastors who are here know very well, these are places inscribed in the pages of the Bible. These are places carved into the bedrock of our common civilization. The sacred tomb in Hebron, where the fathers and mothers of the Jewish people are buried. Bethel, where Jacob dreamed of a ladder ascending to the heavens. Shiloh, where the Ark of the Covenant that held the 10 Commandments for centuries. That's what happened in Shiloh. Thanks to you, Mr. President, these areas and so many others that for millennia have been etched in the soul of the Jewish people and have fired the imaginations of millions of people around the world and across the world. These areas will now be recognized by the United States as a permanent part of the Jewish state. Mr. President, because of this historic recognition, and because I believe your peace plan strikes the right balance where other plans have failed, I've agreed to negotiate peace with the Palestinians on the basis of your peace plan. It's a great plan for Israel. It's a great plan for peace. Frankly, Mr. President, given all that you have already done for Israel, I'm not surprised. You have been the greatest friend that Israel has ever had in the White House. Frankly, though we've had some great, outstanding friends in these halls, it's not even close. Your historic decisions to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, to recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, to reaffirm Israel's legal claims in Judea and Samaria, to stand up to Iran, to pull out of that dangerous Iran deal, to confront is not the word, to eliminate Qasem Soleimani, to support and encourage unbelievable cooperation between Israel and the United States in the military and strategic and intelligence fields. All this bear testament to the friendship and depth of your leadership and commitment to Israel. From our very first meeting here in the White House 3 years ago, you repeatedly made clear your commitment to help Israel achieve peace with the Palestinians and peace with the rest of the Arab world. Mr. President, I share that commitment, and I look forward to working with you to achieve a peace that will protect Israel's security, provide the Palestinians with dignity and their own national life, and improve Israel's relations with the Arab world. Your peace plan advances all these goals. First, it addresses the root cause of the conflict, by insisting that the Palestinians will finally have to recognize Israel as the Jewish state. Second, it stipulates that Israel will retain security control in the entire area west of the Jordan River, thereby giving Israel a permanent eastern border to defend ourselves across our longest border. This is something we've longed to have. We now have such a recognized boundary. Third, your plan calls for Hamas to be disarmed and for Gaza to be demilitarized. Fourth, it makes clear that the Palestinian refugee problem must be solved outside the state of Israel. Fifth, it calls for our ancient capital, Jerusalem, to remain united under Israel's sovereignty. It, of course, ensures that religious sites remain accessible to all faiths, and it maintains the status quo on the Temple Mount. Sixth, your plan does not uproot anyone from their homes, Israelis and Palestinians alike. Instead, it proposes innovative solutions whereby Israelis will be connected to Israel and whereby Palestinians will also be connected to one another. That helps if you have these real estate people, you know. They can come up with things normal human beings don't think about. And they have. Mr. President, Israel wants the Palestinians to have a better life. We want them to have a future of national dignity, prosperity, and hope. Your peace plan offers the Palestinians such a future. Your peace plan offers the Palestinians a pathway to a future state. I know that it may take them a very long time.
They was already a state. Now you come down and recognize yourself as being a state because you're going to take over the whole so-called Holy Land. And this is where the synagogue is at. It sits out far, far, far north of Israel and Mount Sinai over there in that area. I had this.
Time to reach the end of that path. It may even take them a very long time to get to the beginning of that path. But if the Palestinians are genuinely prepared to take that path, if they're genuinely prepared to make peace with the Jewish state, and if they agree to abide by all the conditions you have put forward in your plan, Israel will be there. Israel will be prepared to negotiate peace right away. Regardless of the Palestinian decision, Israel will preserve the path of peace in the coming years. For at least 4 years, Israel will maintain.
Even if they don't, we still gonna continue to put down on their motherfucking ass.
Regardless of the Palestinian decision, Israel will preserve the path.
Regardless of their decision, whatever decision they make, we still gonna put down on their ass.
Path of peace in the coming years. For at least 4 years, Israel will maintain the status quo in areas that your plan does not designate as being part of Israel in the future. At the same time, Israel will apply its laws to the Jordan Valley, to all the Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria, and to other areas that your plan designates as part of Israel, and which the United States has agreed to recognize as part of Israel. I like that. This decision will protect Israel's security, ensure Israel's national interests, and leave open the possibility of a political settlement with the Palestinians in the coming years. Mr. President, I hope the Palestinians embrace your vision of peace. Embrace the plan that you and your team and us work so hard to achieve. I hope that they seize the opportunity offered by your sweeping economic plan. I've read it. It takes enormous talent to reject $50 billion worth of investment. I know what that does to an economy. I know what it will do to Palestinian lives. I know what it will do to the youth of the region. I hope that the Palestinians embrace this and build with Israel a future of prosperity and peace. I also hope that our other Arab neighbors embrace your vision and forge a path of reconciliation with Israel that can create for all of us a brilliant future. Mr. President, I want to congratulate your fantastic team, there's no other word, your fantastic peace team for all their work. Jason Greenblatt. Thank you, Jason, for the terrific job you did as America's peace envoy for nearly 3 years. Avi Berkowitz, thank you for stepping out. Thank you, Avi, for stepping out from your important behind the roles scene. Behind the scenes role and ably working in those past few months to get this plan done. Ambassador David Friedman. Thank you, David.
This man actually say in the next 4 years we don't need any nightclub bombers and all that shit. And what happened? They just called the script out, man. And we continue to go for this shit. I'ma come back. You know, run some shit. I'm just gonna come back because that's how I sleep. I sleep well on live. Keisha trying me to do that. So I'll be back. I gotta call my people back and see what's going on. Until I come back, my nigga, y'all know what I say. I said, boom.